Greetings. Hello. My name is Rhonda Knight. I am an international author. I am also a motivational speaker. I was called into ministry in 2002. I am a certified life coach and business coach. And among other things, I present a lot of events and I have a wonderful opportunity to come on and speak at other events too, like the Exceptional Woman. I do see myself as an exceptional woman, not because of any of my accomplishments, not because of any of my titles, just because of who God made me to be. Now, I do want to share with you what my topic is going to be as a headliner speaker. I am going to talk about finding your purpose even in the midst of the storm. How does one do that? We're going to find out. You make sure you're part of the Exceptional Woman Summit because it is going to be amazing. There's a lot of wonderful people that are going to be speaking, and I know you're going to be blessed. Now, let's talk a little bit about my background. I am a survivor of attempted murder and rape. Yes, attempted murder and rape. Now, during this ordeal, it was very horrific. I didn't see my way out of the situation, but through the grace of God. And at that time, I was stabbed in my eye. This person kept trying to cut my throat, but God would not allow their knife to cut my throat. It cut me in many other places, but it wouldn't cut my throat. And so I'm here for a reason. And I believe that you're here for a reason too. And we're going to talk about how do you find your purpose and how do you walk in that purpose even in the midst of a storm. We know in life there's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be something that comes against us as we try to move forward. So how do you continue to move forward even in the midst of the storm? How do you walk in your purpose? How do you find your purpose even in the midst of the storm? Well, let me share a little bit with you. When I went through my ordeal, I not only had to deal with one major issue of overcoming attempted murder, and then a second major issue of overcoming rape. And when I tell you, I wouldn't even say the R word because I was so humiliated, so ashamed of what happened to me. And I thought that if you looked in my eyes, you would be able to see everything that happened that night. It was so much going on in my mind. I was going through PTSD, anxiety, startle effect. I mean, you name it, I had it. Crying spells, just the gamut of what you go through when you're a victim of a crime. But yet, in the midst of that storm, I still sought and trusted God and the purpose that He had called me to do on this earth. So even as I was healing, I would tell myself, I'm going to go into this little cocoon where it was safe, and I wanted to just stay in there until I could heal and come out like a beautiful butterfly, all well, and do all the things that God has called me to do. But you know what? As I said that to myself, I didn't stay in my cocoon. I would literally get up and go and speak for police departments. I spoke for universities, for churches, for schools, for organizations. Wherever there was a platform for me to speak and make a difference, I did it. Even in my healing, I continue to walk in my purpose. And if I can do it, especially with all that I dealt with, I know that you can do it too. So as you're seeking and trying to learn what the purpose of your life is, because I believe everybody has a purpose. We're here on this earth for a reason. And as you're seeking your purpose, I want you to understand that if you put your trust, now some people put their trust in man, and that's okay for them, but I have to tell you what kept me. And when I say keeping my trust in God is the very thing that helped me through my storm. And I'm going to talk much more about this, so make sure you tune in and listen to the session that I do, and every other woman that's on here that's exceptional women as well. I want you to make sure you hear what they have to say because it's really going to bless you. So keeping that faith as you walk and find and discover your purpose is something that you need to do. Listen, I want to tell you this. Do not stand stagnant. When life hits you, don't just stand there. Keep moving forward. If you're moving forward, you're headed towards something. You're headed towards your purpose. And I know you're going to be blessed and do a great job in whatever that is. But you have to make sure you continue to go forward. Don't allow anyone to turn you around. As I said, even for me, even in my healing process, I continue to move forward. Now, when I tell you that was not something easy to go through. Now, I've heard people who have been through ordeals and they've been through, some horrific things in their lives too. And I've heard people say they gave up on God or they were angry at God. But I was never angry at God. I was more thankful because he kept me even in the midst of my storm. And so I was very grateful, so humbly grateful. Okay. So I want you to look at your situation and I want you to say to yourself, you know what? This may be a negative situation, but guess what? Out of every negative, Rhonda Knight told me that you can find the positive. And I want you to keep that in your mind, because as you're seeking the positive, you're not dwelling and you're not keeping that negative in your heart and in your mind, which is going to consume you. But you're looking for the answers. You're looking for the way that can help you in your healing, in your walk, in your purpose. So walk in that purpose and you can do it even in that storm. So for me, I also learned that I know that for some people, if you don't have that great connection where you just trust God 100%, even if you don't know him, just take my word for it and trust him. Trust him in all that you do. Because I've heard people, when they've been through some things, they turn to drugs, they turn to alcohol, they turn to suicidal thoughts, or they commit suicide. And why would you do those things to yourself? Because guess what? Now you're taking a negative and you're adding more negatives. And what is that going to bring but more sorrow, more disappointment, more depression, more sadness? That's not what you want, right? You want to be able to push through, keep moving forward, and put your trust somewhere. Put your trust in God is what I'm going to say to you, because that's truly, like I said, what kept me even in my ordeal. And not just that ordeal, anything I've been through in life, when I tried to handle it myself and I was like, okay, what should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? And guess what? When I put it in my hands, I think of things in a human way. And then sometimes those things don't work out how I think they should. But when I'm quiet and when I listen and I'm led, then they work out how they should. And guess what? I can continue to move forward and I can continue to walk in the purpose that God has for me to walk in. And so can you. It's all about trust and faith. And I know you have this in you. Now, you may be saying, I don't know God. I've never had a relationship with God. But guess what? He knows you. And he's called you for such a time as this, as they say. He's called you for the purpose he set for you. Are you tired of doing things the same way? Aren't you ready for a change? I know you are. And I want to see you change. And I want to hear from you. And Michelle wants to hear from you. We all want to hear from you and know that this Exceptional Woman Tour Summit that's global is that it blessed you so much that you were able to find your purpose. You were able to be delivered from something. You were able to move forward. You were given hope and joy and peace, all that came with it. So that's my wish for you. And you know what I want to tell you? In my eyes, guess what? You are an exceptional woman too. And you're going to do great things. And not only are you going to do great things, but you're going to teach other people how to do great things too. I believe in you. Every person that's a part of this panel of exceptional women, we believe in you and we know it's going to be okay. Keep the faith. And if you don't have the faith, go find someone. It's always a good idea to talk to people who are positive-minded people, because I know we've all experienced some of our friends and our family members, they may wish the best for us, but sometimes their advice is not always the best advice. I want you to seek someone that's going to give you some positive advice that makes sense, not advice that doesn't make sense, or advice that would take you to a place of continuing in your negativity. You need to surround yourself by like-minded people that have a vision, like-minded people that are moving forward. They're not stopping because of life circumstances. They're pushing through and they're making it. They're finding their purpose, they're walking in their purpose, and they're blessed in their purpose. And that is my wish for you. All right, my time is up on this session, but I will be back and I'll be talking to you some more and encouraging you some more and giving you a little bit more details about my story and what really happened that day and how I was able to get out of that situation. I look forward to our time together again. In the meantime, God bless you.